Okay, ready for the unveiling. I waited all night long for the plastic wrap to dry, and I took this one off, and I'm taking this one off. And you can see where it was a little bit too smushed together, that it took off a lot of the paint, but here's the result of the crackly kind of effect that you get, almost like crystal-like. Isn't that cool? Okay, so now I'm ready to paint my dragon. All my background is dry. If you get it still very wet again, it will blend with other colors, but I'll try not to do that. And I want to make my dragon with warm colors. So I have a better choice today. The larger paintbrush and the smaller paintbrush for details and smaller places. So I'm going to start with some red or orange for my dragon. Maybe a red-orange. Get the water over here. Get lots of paint on the brush. It's very watery. You can think about where the light's going to shine on him and make it a little bit lighter, and make it darker where the shadows are. Make it really bright color. If you want it to be bright, do you know what you do? You add more paint to your brush. Then you're going to get more color. If you want it to be lighter, then you add a tiny bit more water or less paint. Just less paint is probably better so you don't get too much water. If you start getting too much water, just spread it around so it doesn't get all in one, make puddles. I'm going to paint his scales, all this reddish orange color. And I want to make it really bright. So I'll add more paint than water. Follow the lines of your dragon with the tip of your brush so it stays inside the dragon and not in the background. If you make the wings blue and the dragon orange and another wing purple, your dragon won't have unity. It won't feel like it's all connected. So choose colors that go together, like next to each other on the color wheel. Those are called analogous colors. Colors next to each other on the color wheel that go together, like yellows and oranges and reds. And make the dragon have like the body to be all like one color. Think about unity so it still feels all connected. You don't have to make everything all one color, that'll be kind of boring, but you do want it to feel like all the parts are part of the dragon, so it has symmetry. For my smaller places, I'll use the smaller brush. Still want to get it really bright so he kind of glows in the dark. And instead of coloring all underneath him all one color, I might make a pattern there with color. Add lots of color. Lots of bright color. And as you're painting, you can kind of think about what choices you want to do for the colors. Okay, so now I'm going to use my smaller brush. Check, make sure you don't have any white spots. For the smaller parts. Like, I just saw one somewhere. Oh, his leg. And the other side of him. Or her. So all the scales are one color, but the other parts will be different warm colors. Or some parts could be cool colors. Okay, now I'm going to add some red to him. Maybe some little places will be kind of reddish spots. Maybe some more darker red underneath here. And let's see, should I use some purple? Purple is a cool color. I don't like that purple. That's like a red violet. If you don't like something, you can take a tissue and twist it till it's a point. And then soak up that color, but don't push down too hard, you'll smear it. Just use the little point to soak it up. Okay, now let's get the darker purple. That's better. So purple, and then something else. Purple. Skip a space, purple, skip a space, purple, skip a space, purple. And I don't want to paint that right now, the other part, because then it's going to blend with the purple. Fortunately, my body is not blending with this purple, the red color. And since he has purple underneath, maybe I will give him purple claws too. So it's not only in one spot. But generally you want to keep like warm colors together, not too many, don't blend too many cool and warm colors or it's not going to be unified. So if I have purple here, purple there, then I'm going to use some purple for the parts of the wing. I hope I'm painting so you can see. So I'll have a pattern on the wing. This part will be purple and the rest of the wing maybe red. Then I'm going to use yellow for his beak and the scales on his back and his tail. So that will be unified too. So I'll have yellow for parts, some parts, and yellow for other parts. Yellow for the moons, so it'll help tie the picture together. Like my background is tied together with all the black and blue touching everything. That creates unity in your picture. If my background was like purple, orange, green, then it would create no unity. It would have disunity. All the parts wouldn't really fit together and it wouldn't look like they go together. Kind of like using puzzle pieces from one puzzle to another puzzle that don't go together. Just using the tip of my brush holding the paintbrush like vertical. Getting lots of color and not too much water. Well, it looks like I forgot that line that connects there. I'll have to draw that one in. Did you notice that? It's not symmetrical until I add that line too. If you go slowly, you'll have more control. Okay, where's my Sharpie? So I need to add a line. Oops, I shouldn't have put that part in. Okay, I need to wait till they dry before I paint this part. And my water should be clean before I use yellow. Let's see if that's good enough. Yes. Oh. Tip of his tail's yellow. The moons are yellow. Oops, I dripped over there. Even though the moon does not look yellow, does it? I'll still add it. So you have a nice contrast between the black and the yellow. It really shows up well because it's dark next to light. Creates a nice contrast. The moons are painted symmetrically. They're yellow on one side, yellow on the other side. And I'll paint his beak. And this part yellow too. If I have white clouds, then I want white things other places too. Or maybe I'll add a little bit of shadows to the bottom of the clouds. If you look at the clouds in the sky, you'll see that they're kind of purplish underneath. Grayish purple. So then the purple will be also in some of the border. I missed a little bit of orange there. And his chin, guess I'll use orange for that too. Kind of shadowed. So I'll add some red to make it a little darker. And do yellow for the fin-like things on his back. So I have yellow on his tail, yellow on his moons, yellow on his beak, yellow on the fins. Make sure your paint is not too wet, otherwise it's going to blend with the other colors as you paint. Even if they're dry, it'll still blend if they're too wet. So I just have enough paint on my brush to color it so it's not totally dry. Oops, I painted these orange. Okay, then for his mouth, I think I'll do his tongue first. Just with the tip of my brush. And I might add a little bit of purple to that because it's shadowed. Then for the inside of his mouth, I'll make it black. And maybe for his belly and his wings, I'll make those black too. And then just to show you how to put like shadows on the bottom of the clouds, I get it a little bit wet so it's not too dark. That's about how light I want it. So I could get these wetter. But not too wet. I don't want it to blend with the background. That's too dark. Don't use your white because we're going to use white for our self-portraits. And you don't want to get it all full of purple or anything. Okay, so you get the idea. Have a great time making your painted animal, mythical creature. And I'll do one more demonstration for my other animals. So if you did any of these animals, then you could watch the demo that you like.